Hello to our viewers across New Zealand and Australia. I'm Philip Duncan with your weather update for this week, and we've just seen Tropical Cyclone Seroja make landfall. It was Category 3 offshore, Category 2 when it moved in, and it should be weakening quite rapidly as we go through Monday, and it won't be a cyclone by this afternoon. It's then going to drop into the Southern Ocean where it joins forces with another low down there, and that'll become one big, large system well down in the Southern Ocean, but by the end of this working week, it will bring in a bit of rain to the west coast of New Zealand. Meanwhile, in the New Zealand area, another low is moving through. We've got a small one to the north, but this is the main one down here, and again, they're likely to merge up over the next 24 hours, bringing hit and miss showers. The North Island of New Zealand and eastern areas of New Zealand both are looking drier than average for the next 7 days ahead. Let's make more sense of that rainfall. So this is the next 3 days of rainfall in New Zealand. The areas with the blue and the green, just at the very beginning of the scale here, a couple of showers up to 5 millimetres. So not a lot of rain at all, almost nothing for those eastern areas once again. It's those areas that are running drier than average, but to be honest, much of the North Island running drier than average this week as well. We're in the middle of April, places like Auckland getting only 5 to 10 millimetres over the next week. And the real rain down here on the west coast, that's where 125 millimetres or more is likely, partially due to the remnants of ex-cyclone Seroja, which will end up bringing in a bit of rain to that western area later in the week. So here's Tuesday's setup. We've got this new low down here south of the Great Australian Bight. This is the one that's taken that tropical cyclone and merged it all into this big low pressure system. There's a high pressure belt over eastern Aussie and another high coming in around Perth. And then over New Zealand, we've got low pressure. So it's a lot more autumnal, if you like, looking at this weather map, where you've got that mixture of highs and lows. By midweek, that low disappears and the next one starts to move through. Remember, even though it's combined with a tropical cyclone or an ex-cyclone, it's really just a very normal Southern Ocean storm at this point. When I say normal, I mean normal for the storms. It's still 957 hectopascals. That's quite deep. So this system moving along, but as for New Zealand and Hobart, Tasmania, you're really just going to get a bit of wind and rain or showers from this system. It's not a tropical storm. You won't feel any tropicalness from it. It's simply a Southern Ocean blast. And in fact, if anything, there's a temperature drop behind it, which arrives in Tasmania on Thursday. There's that southerly coming through. For New Zealand, it's still windy westerlies on Thursday, rain on the west coast, showers for the western North Island, dry and sunny elsewhere. By Friday, very similar to Thursday, except that cooler change that just moved into Tasmania now moves into Southland, Otago, Fiordland, and later on the west coast. So there is a temperature drop at the end of this week. The westerly winds continue, so those in the very north and along the eastern sides, still mostly dry and mostly sunny. Then we get into the weekend, and Saturday's update looks very much like autumn. You've got sou'westers blowing across the country, a few showers potentially coming into those eastern areas. Accumulations won't be much though, and it stays mostly dry around the eastern South Island. The next big high out here over Australia, that's the reason why we're getting this windier west to southwest flow, which is normal for this time of the year. But what is not normal, the temperatures this week, they are above average across New Zealand. Overnight lows tonight around Auckland, 18 degrees, which is pretty mild. And for the farming areas nearby, like Waikato, facial eczema could be more of an issue for you as well. So there's all sorts of things going on at the moment. The weather pattern a little bit more active than it was perhaps over the last couple of weeks. That's all from me. Back again on Tuesday with our next update.